Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance, where today I will be playing Greed Mode with Lilith, because it is one of the easier characters to play Greed Mode with. She does not have... well, she instantly gets a health up, so that's wonderful. She doesn't have the ability to shoot tears from her own face. That's a really good trinket as well. However, she has a friend to do the work for her, and that is pretty great because the box is going to duplicate the amount of friends that we have at our disposal every time we use the item. And that does become rather great. There is a shopkeeper here with some coins, so perhaps... nope, no 5 coins, but we already have 2 friends now. And let us try and progress through this. It is... yeah, for Greed Mode, this is one of the best characters in the game, I would say, simply because you end up with so many tears from the get-go. Only the boss itself at the end becomes a little bit trickier due to the range being a little bit more fiddly. Simply due to the fact that your shots are coming from slightly behind you, and range is pretty important with the final fight here, so it might become a little bit trickier, but the road to the boss itself should not be too terrible. Also, the large rock effects from these enemies don't really affect us, which is nice, so while the enemies are getting destroyed by it, we are not in trouble at all. And yeah, this is more or less doing itself. I do need to be somewhat careful from time to time, even though we did get a health up from the get-go. I would like to retain my health as much as possible in this mode, as it is a little bit more tricky to get health in here. But hopefully we should be okay. We already have so many tears coming out of us right now that if we can just keep this up, that would be lovely. I will not leave the room just yet because the moment I leave the room, we are back at 1 succubus, and that is not the amount of damage I would like to have for these bosses. And this does make it go rather swiftly. It is unfortunate that the amount of coins you can put in your donation machine at the end, the jam chance, is character dependent in normal difficulty, so unfortunately there's only so many coins we can put in as Lilith, and therefore it is worthwhile to play as the other characters as well. But it is nice to get this experience from time to time, as it makes for an easy run for a beginning Greed Mode player, I suppose. But after this we should get our Devil Deal. Like in the regular mode, I think you can choose to skip the Devil Deal and you'll get Angel Rooms from that point, at least on the next floor instead. And I don't hate the idea, however. I mean, that's pretty lovely, isn't it? Money equals power in this mode is pretty great. And Angel Rooms definitely can be good in this mode as well, because there are some long-range Angel Room items, probably. But I'm okay with doing it like this. Getting that trinket is wonderful. I'm tempted by the raw liver, actually, because that is 2 more health ups right there. And this, I mean, this is probably fine. I've never really fully understood the item, and I'm not sure if it applies with this character even, because I'm not exactly seeing tears that look any different from what we've been shooting so far, so there's a non-impossible chance it's not doing anything. This, on the other hand, I'm also tempted by, because this is going to make our trinket more effective. However, it is an active item. Never mind. Just changed my mind instantly on that one. Let's just buy a coin and leave. Buying a coin probably wasn't the best idea. I could have gone into my curse room as well. I still could, actually, but I don't really want to waste the black hearts on that. But having red heart containers is pretty great, because there's usually some way to get back your red hearts in this mode. So it is a little bit safer than soul hearts and such, but it hopefully shouldn't matter. Hopefully we won't even reach that amount of health, but we are getting a lot of red health, actually. We could increase the radius of creep, but simultaneously, maybe not. Rainbow Baby is pretty good in terms of at least it's another baby. This battery right here, that's actually amazing. So I would like to get that. Tempted by Squeezy as well, but I mean, the car battery though is like using this item twice every time you use it. That's amazing. So definitely want to try and get that. Need to be sure not to accidentally hit that reroll machine with these bomb flies here. But that's really the only thing I have to look out for right now. The hearts above their head don't really mean anything, unfortunately, and I don't know. Wasn't sure how many times I'd shot the enemies at that point, so decided to just end that fight. But let's use our item. Immediately we have 2 of the Rainbow Baby as well, so yeah, followers do become pretty great in this mode. However, Succubus probably is the best follower because the damage is based on your own damage. So, arguably, having more is not immediately better, but the Succubi, they are all behind each other as well in a row, so you do get them closer to you than the Rainbow Babies, and therefore they are the easier to aim with babies as well. So what I said previously about more babies being better, not necessarily being better, that's more or less just wrong. So ignore that and just look at the amount of tears instead that are being shot right now as we are progressing through these fights. Something like Cricket's body would be really fun with this build as well, I think, just because it would just create such chaos. But I think we'll manage. Watch out for the many things coming out of that poop. And same goes as the previous 4. Let's just fight the bosses first before we leave to go to the shop once again. 1 equals power, not doing too much right now. Because I keep spending all my coins, but it's fine. We do still have the coins that we're going to get from this boss as well, so we are dealing a little bit more damage because of that. But ultimately, as long as I have as many coins as possible in the final fight, then it doesn't really matter on the way there, I suppose. I need to actually find a way to get 1 more charge after this, so hopefully there's actually enemies inside that last room, but if not, that's fine, I suppose. Not really too concerned about it. Could get Guppy's head, but not really too excited about that. Could get Ocular Rift, but that's gonna create a big mess, I think. Because I think with every shot, there's a chance for a black hole, and if you have a whole bunch of those things, then they all start just throwing enemies all over the place, and it's not ideal, and I'd rather not. So I will just ignore that for now. Instead, opt to get the car battery. And that is going to make a lot of good things. I might get some more health. Yeah, it's probably not a terrible idea to get some health while we can. And let's move on. Hopefully we can get a free key on the next floor. And if not, I'm sure we can afford a key somewhere along the line. Another red heart. We are actually getting so much of that. It's wonderful. There is an item on sale here, which is pretty wonderful because, especially since it's the present as well, so we could put that in a specific room to get a type of item that we would like. But yeah, now we immediately have 3 of each baby instead of 2 thanks to that car battery. And that is going to multiply by quite a lot next time we use it. I think it only doubles the original baby, so it's not going to go from like 3 to 6 to 12 or whatever, but it's still a lot in it. It's still quite a lot of tears that are getting shot, and it is clearing these rooms with a rapid pace. Didn't actually see that enemy there, so that one was on me. But with this amount of things, I'm guessing even Ultra Greed shouldn't be too big of an issue, simply because range isn't that big of an issue if you cover the entire room with tears. So I feel like we're probably going to be okay on that front. Surprised there was still someone alive, but I suppose the room wasn't actually continuing. Haunt shouldn't take too long here either, so hopefully those heads are going to go away after we have destroyed Haunt. Need to watch out for the Brimstone attack, I guess, because I think the tears are all just going to hit those rocks. But he didn't even attack, so that worked out. Need to mostly look out for the mask here, but if we can get the Rainbow Baby to attack it, I guess that also works, because at that point it just becomes a matter of watching them run into each other until they're dead, so that works out. But this is a little bit awkward, but fortunately not impossible if we could just put a baby inside the mask and destroy it that way. All in all, doable so far, I would call this. Very doable. But just a little bit longer to go before we are done with this floor as well. I might just get another key and maybe just buy like one present as well. Might have been smart to buy the present before doing that last wave as well, because then I could have gotten a Devil Deal item, but that's fine. Conjoin. This could actually be kind of interesting. It's not quite conjoined yet, but it is gonna be part of our baby train. I'm guessing we're gonna duplicate that one as well, which would be great. Being able to buy another trinket is not bad. This is not really gonna do much, but okay. Spider mod isn't terrible either. Don't really care about that enough to buy it. I will just buy one key and check out the other item room, and I think I'll also just use the present there as well. Spoonbender. This scares me, but yeah, I'm interested in what this is going to end up doing. Could have bought that key item, I suppose, to give 5 keys to be done with the rest of the floor, but nah, that's not necessary, I suppose. If we can find one more part of the conjoined transformation, I think we actually have it. So that would be lovely. Or just another red heart container. I mean, we haven't had enough this run, so makes sense. A little bit more always helps. There is the R key for 99 coins, which, interesting. Hadn't actually seen that before. Didn't know that the R key would actually be available in this mode, but fair enough. I can see how that would be good, but for 99 coins, that's going to be kind of difficult to put together, unfortunately. But yeah, fair enough. I'll just take the key and try to leave in a second here. Oh, and the multidimensional baby is just in front of Succubus as well, so that's... Oh, that's actually doing quite a lot then, isn't it? This might be interesting. I'm curious but excited. Wooden nickel, that's actually not bad in this mode either. But not as good as what we currently have. If I didn't have an active item yet, that would 100% be what I would be going for, but as it stands, this is just a little bit too great. Oh, it's gonna make a bunch of spider baby or spider mods as well. I hadn't even thought of that, but that might help. I mean, probably won't hurt. There's a little battery there. I'm not sure where that came from, but I'll take it. Might have dropped from an enemy, I guess. I'm not sure if that was a champion eye or something. Ooh, the bomb wave counted, and another battery. There's a lot of batteries coming here. I don't mind it. It's creating a big mess is what it is. Yeah, this floor went pretty quickly. I mean, we still have a couple waves to go, but I can just do this and... Oh, no. I mean, it's effective. It's a pretty effective strategy that we got going on, but this is not exactly what I expected to happen. It's close to what I expected, I suppose, but I didn't expect it to be this ridiculous. Yeah, definitely not taking that, but it's a lot of things going on right now, and I am living for it. Pretty happy about how this is going so far. I think I might just... I think I'll just buy a couple hearts and then leave, actually. If I can just be largely near full health on the remaining floors, I think that would make me feel quite safe. There is still one more item room incoming as well, so we might get another red heart container. We haven't had quite enough of those yet. So, yeah, if I just save the rest of my money from this point on, we should be fine. An orbital, which I think... Is it going to be duplicated as well? I'm actually not sure now. 9 volt is tempting. It is actually really tempting because that is even so much more babies. But it's kind of pointless when you actually reach the boss at the end. So it's not really... Like, for the way there, it's very good. But I think I'm good, actually. Oh, is this going to just create a full Meat Boy as well? Oh. That's interesting. If that gives us the achievement at least as well, because that would make things a lot easier, especially with Bandage Girl as well, because otherwise that's going to be just a big mess. But if this works, then I should get the achievement now. Yeah. All right. Well, that's interesting. Meat Boy is definitely at least going to help out a little bit with Ultra Greed as well, so that's pretty good. I guess if I find a Bandage Ball, I might actually try and go for that then, because that's just such a nice thing to get out of the way. Like not having to try and get a full Bandage Girl transformation, because Meat Boy you can at least deal with the potato peeler, but Bandage Girl not so much. But this will then just work just fine, I suppose. Why does so many batteries? I actually don't fully understand. Might be the spider mod, maybe. Maybe that's dropping batteries all over the place. Either way, it's good. I'm not complaining by any means, but it's just I'm confused as to why I'm being blessed by all these batteries. Fair enough. There's Krampus. Even with one set of babies, I'm feeling fairly confident we can take on Krampus here. Drop the head of Krampus, which I will just use for good measure. It actually gets affected by the multi-dimensional baby as well, which I may have noticed at some point and just forgot about. I tend to forget about what the multi-dimensional baby actually does. But I'm sure that every time something is going to happen in combination with the multi-dimensional baby, I'm going to be surprised by it. And, you know, I live for my own innocence from time to time. I'm just happy that I still got things to learn, even if I've learned them 100 times before already. Red card's tempting. In case that is a 2 of diamonds. It's an ace of clubs. It's a 2 of spades. You know what? I'm done buying cards. Just gonna go fight some bosses, I think. Ace of clubs, I guess we could just turn into bombs here, yeah. It's a lot of bombs, actually. So, we can at least blow up that chest that's still in the shop. We could probably use that to blow up a couple shopkeepers as well, so that's pretty good. I need to remember to actually use my item as well, but look at that. There's 2 shopkeepers with nickels in their eyes as well, so that might be some money there as well. Good to get the hand wave 2 times in a row, because it's the only one where I just have to wait. But arguably, I'd say this is still going acceptably well, I suppose. I feel like I should have more Meat Boys, but at the same time, I guess I already have a couple there. And provided you can clear the waves quick enough, then the the spikes will stop. The spike blocks will stop having spikes on them, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this does kind of go with Lilith is probably the easiest character for greed mode, because it's kind of hard to tell what's going on at this point, and sometimes I think I'm taking damage. But ultimately, most of this is sort of playing itself. And we get a rune shard and an AWAS. I mean, I could use AWAS here, I suppose. Oh, it's a crawl space. That's exciting. And it has that, which is barely worth picking up. But, I mean, it's technically not nothing. And it's a range up, which I probably have also learned at some point in the past I forgot about. But yeah, that's actually pretty good then. Because range does become rather important, as I have said before. Let's just maybe see if there's a secret room over here. There's a couple... Sure, another red heart container, very good. There's a couple places where the super secret room could be, I guess. I could try a couple just in case. And the shopkeepers are not especially kind to me today. But at least we did get 5 more coins out of it. Probably could have played this a little bit better to get some more money than what we currently have, but overall this is not too bad. Oh. Okay. That would have been good to have earlier for sure, but yeah, alright. Well, let's just move on. Hopefully there's going to be a couple more shopkeepers before we actually end up fighting the boss there. But I think with what we have, we should be okay. I feel like this build is acceptable. We will only be able to use the box of friends once, but it is going to at least activate it twice, so that's still pretty okay. Plus we could maybe get a couple coins here from our I have the greed's eye thing or whatever. Or I could just get hit by greed as well. That's also an option, that I just lose some coins in the process, but could have gone worse. Steam sale, that would have been kind of nice to get, yeah. That would have been pretty good for the whole run, but oh well. Let's see if we are strong enough to fight this boss right here. It is dropping a decent amount of coins right now, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, Ultra Greed does get healed by these coins as well. Lucky Penny, that's not bad either. But yeah, we will have to actually pick up some of these coins because he will just run to them and steal them instead and actually get some profit out of it because of it. So you need to be aware of that. Also, the bombs are more or less dealing with all the enemies that just came out of the doors, so that works out. However, if we could get a lot of coins just on here and he's not picking them up, that wouldn't be bad either. I need to actually be worried about these bombs, I guess, a bit. But so far, I'd argue that he hasn't actually been able to do anything yet. So I'd say that this build is acceptable for our purposes, provided that we can just keep him off screen. The fact that we have homing tiers as well is making this so much better, but the fact that he's picking up all this money is not great. Technically, we could just let Meat Boy do all the work as well if we really wanted to, but it would take forever. And also, I'd have to avoid him the entire time. It wouldn't be a great experience for anyone involved, including myself, and that is a pretty important one. But so we're halfway done. He has healed up a bit, I think, and he has managed to get a couple hits in as well, so I do need to be at least a little bit more careful here. I'm genuinely not sure if the money tiers are helping or hindering me more right now, but can't really tell how much he's healing from it. But if I just stand here and let the multi-dimensional baby do a lot of the work as well, hopefully that's going to end up in my favor. There's going to be a lot of enemies coming out of these doors, but they die pretty quickly usually, and with the build we have, that is no exception. But I think we're gonna be okay here. Oh, need to not get hit by bombs though. That is a prerequisite to being okay. There aren't that many hearts on this room right now, except for those coin hearts he just made, I suppose. But that is one thing I need to be somewhat aware of. And there's still a decent amount of coins left on the floor. So even after this fight is done here, I will just focus on him because, yeah, he's nearly dead. I'm gonna stand in the corner here. We unlock the box of friends. We are only at 167 coins. I thought I was actually further in greed mode, but that's fine. We're gonna make some decent progress here, hopefully. We are more or less... Oh, we unlock special shopkeepers, which I feel like I've already seen in run, so I'm not really sure how that works. Because hanging shopkeepers with coins in their eyes are a separate unlock from the sitting ones, but I feel like I've already seen the sitting ones as well, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But either way, we got, I'd say, over 100 coins into our donation machine in one run. Pretty great. There was another coin there. Might as well put it in. We got our donation machine chance at 3%, which seems low, but it is getting up there, honestly, with how many coins you can put in per character. So let's just go in here. I have played for 23 minutes. I've played for 23 minutes. I might just do one more, you know? But I'm not sure as who. Because most characters aren't that fun in greed mode. Yeah, I don't know. I might do a Kain run, I guess. Why not? Let's do one run as Kain and then call it a day. Not the best character, but he does start off with a key. We immediately get a damage up as well. We get a fly, which if we get Gnawed Leaf, we could technically win by just waiting next to the boss. So that's exciting. There's a battery baby right there. There's a bunch of chests in this room. But overall, nothing too exciting just yet. This time around, I will actually have to try. It's a little bit different when you're playing with anyone that's not Lilith, because suddenly you're not just insta-clearing every room, every floor, every time. But hopefully the build that we are going to get today is going to help us do that regardless. Our damage is fine. With Kain, we can once again try and go for pills as well, because we will only get the positive stat ups thanks to the lucky foot as well. It's unlikely that I'll go for pills, but if there's like a couple pills in my curse room or something like that, it might be worthwhile. But we shall see. I have no real expectations, and mostly the reason I'm not playing with Lilith is just because of that jam percentage. Because preferably, in all honesty, I would rather just do greed mode with one character until at least I unlock the harder greed mode, and can I just continue from that point, you know? Because that's really, I guess that's my main problem with greed mode as well, that you are just kind of waiting to get the harder mode where you actually can get all of the unlocks, where yeah, right now we can only get so much. It's a little frustrating for sure. There's no bomb in here, which is unfortunate, because I wouldn't actually mind checking out these chests. There's a tinted rock there as well. I could re-roll. That is still an option. We do also have the pick lock thing, whatever it's called. So I can at least open those chests. We can get 1 key for 3 coins, which is not bad. There's nothing really in here that I would like either, other than more keys, I suppose. Yeah, we're not getting bombs. We are getting pills. So let's just for fun. Health up. Not bad, actually. All things considered, it was kind of a waste of a lot of coins there, but getting health is pretty important ultimately, so I'm not gonna be too sad about that one. If this one could just stop jumping over the fly, that would be ideal, but we managed to get there in the end. He died pretty quickly. The nice thing is when he doesn't actually spawn spiders is that he just sort of jumps over you the entire time if you stand next to him, so it wasn't really any problem there. But I would like to have the fly do as much damage as possible here. Makes the fight just go a little bit quicker if we can combine it with our tears as well. Not sure if I want to go for a devil deal right now. But if I get something like sulfur, then again, it does make everything so much easier. I will just grab this half a heart before continuing. Another nice thing, I guess, is with this character is that I can just leave the room without having to think about it. It is an option for now, unless I get something like sulfur or something, which would change the game rather dramatically. To be fair, doing every greed mode run with sulfur is unlikely. It wouldn't be the most interesting thing either, but I again wouldn't say no to it, because it would just speed up the process by so much. I kind of want you to sit next to that barrel when it explodes, though. That would really make my day. Also, I need to actually hit the barrel, I suppose. That does help. There we go. Look at that damage. The fly also doing a decent amount of work, and the damage we take here is more or less irrelevant, so no problem there. That is Guppy's Paw. And the Book of Belial. Oof. Okay. That's a tricky choice, but I think I might actually go for Book of Belial here. Because it's incredible. It's more or less the reason why the Judas run was so good, because the Book of Belial carries the entire thing. If I can just get 1 bomb, though. There we go. 2 bombs, in fact. Yeah, I actually need more bombs, I think. Because I don't... This block right here is in the way of really any progress happening. Ooh, we got a bunch of money from that, so that's pretty good. Let's just blow this one up as well. And then the tinted rock after that. Hopefully we can get a bomb out of this. Yes, 2 more bombs out of that, so that's good. And now we have a bunch of health. We have 4 keys, which is surprising. And we still have a bomb left in case we find a tinted rock or something. So, pretty okay. But the fact that we got Book of Belial in greed mode, just any item that is improved by using it multiple times in the same room is so good in greed mode, and the Book of Belial is up there as one of the better ones for sure. This is not bad, but it's not... I mean, this one's different now. It used to be pretty rough because it set your health to half a heart. Now it works a bit different in that you can at least shoot it, and it is pretty fun, but all damage to you deals full 2 hearts is a pretty big one. So I'd rather not. This is tempting though, because range, as I've said before, is so important against that final fight. So if we can just get high range, that would solve a lot of problems. It does mean that we cannot open gold chests anymore for free, but simply put, there aren't that many gold chests either. I will use the Book of Belial here, because quite frankly, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Quite frankly, I didn't know this could happen outside of the last floor, because I don't know if I've ever seen this happen in a greed mode shop. So fair enough. I guess it's just a shopkeeper, so it shouldn't be too surprising that it's possible. Oh my goodness. That is so good. Getting Steam Sale in greed mode is the dream. Okay, that does change a bit. That changes things a bit, doesn't it? I will actually re-roll to see if I can get an item on sale as well. I might be asking for a bit much, but if I can get that, that's a lot of items right there. Having said that, meat is pretty good. So I will, for now, just take this. Simply because it's a decent range up. The tier height, not sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure my tiers are flying further, so hopefully it doesn't affect things too much. But I think if I just move while shooting in a certain direction, it'll basically end up being more range in that direction or something like that. So hopefully that's true. I'm going to play assuming that it is. But, oh my goodness, the Steam Sale in greed mode is just absurd. It happens so rarely, so I'm pretty happy I decided to do another run. Because you can just get twice as many items. Like, it's as simple as that. It's just suddenly everything's better. And that's just a better way to play the game. We'll now not leave the room for obvious reasons. The Book of Belial will lose its effect, and I am dealing pretty decent damage right now because of it. I'd rather not lose out on that. I would like to have my book charged when we go into the next floor as well, but if we have to do one wave with an uncharged item, ultimately that's not too big of a deal either, I suppose. The build is fine as it is. This is a little annoying. It's not one of my favorite ways because it tends to... Like, you can just beat this by running into circles, but it's not that fun. And it mostly revolves around hoping that they don't all sit in the same place, but it's not a difficult wave if you just run. And 3 of them are already dead, so at this point it's just Monstro. And that is the last one right there. There is not that difficult of a fight to get over with here, so that's not too bad. Our damage is pretty great, and really any damage up with the Book of Belial as well is just... It's gonna increase our damage by quite a lot, so that is looking pretty great. Oh, surprised I didn't take damage there, but I will take that. I felt pretty close to the boss. Hagalaz and Hagalaz, very good. Let's just use one over here for good measure. Doesn't destroy flames, unfortunately, but perhaps we can use a Hagalaz rune in one of our shops when it has something particularly useful. Let's just take that. This one just confuses me most of the time, so I think I'll just re-roll it. PhD, which doesn't really do that much for us, but the health, though. Might just take a couple of these. And at this point, even if we get an item on sale, we can't really get the benefit for it anymore. Simply due to the fact that we don't have that much money left, so... Preferably, I'd like to find an item that's on sale along with our 50% off. In one of our next few shops. That's not bad either. It increased our tier rate, which is never a bad thing. And this is more or less turning into our Judas Greed mode run, I believe. It's effectively the same. That's an orbital, which is not bad. There is a great chest here. Using Hagalaz here isn't really going to do anything because the chest would stay closed, so might as well just blow this up. That is an Eternal Heart as well, so that means we don't have to spend too much money on hearts either. Plus there's a soul heart right there, so there's really no reason not to just go in here, right? Yeah. Well, that was a pretty good reason, I suppose, not to go in there. Battery is tempting because it could overcharge it a bit, so the ultra greed fight becomes a bit easier. There's also no reroll machine here, so we can't try to go for an item that's on sale. So I think I will just do that. And we got the extension cord for a reason probably related to batteries. It's probably good for something. Either way, I don't think I want anything else there. So let's just use that. Plus 2.89 damage. If we fight these spiders before the timer runs out, then those skulls will go away. But unfortunately, it wasn't really working out there from the look of things. But I would like those to be gone. There we go. Immediately use our Book of Belial again. And just make our way through. I could also use the Hagalaz Rune to destroy some of these skulls as well, because there can be black hearts, there can be useful things in there. So that might be worthwhile, but at the same time, there's not that many, and there might be more in later floors, so I think I will just wait for a little bit longer before resorting to doing that. Taking a little bit of extra damage here, more than I would like, but there is still 2 hearts effectively in our shop, so that we can get for free as well. So I'm not really too bothered. Also, if I forget to use my item, the battery will just overcharge it now, and that is actually kind of nice. It puts less pressure, I guess, on the usage of the item to try and maximize things a bit, so that is pretty great. So with that, just a couple bosses left to go on this floor before we can move on to the next one. For some reason, I decided to try and hit that enemy as if I had homing tears, and it was not working out. But ultimately, I figured out that I didn't have homing tears, and it did make the hitting part a little bit easier as well. Also, I guess I can just go into the next couple of floors with just overcharged batteries as well, because this one's not that difficult, except if I just fail to dodge entirely. But yeah, this one I feel like I can more easily do with the charge that we have, whereas the further we go, the more tricky the floors are going to get as well, so not too terrible. A little annoyed by this boss. I've never really loved fighting this because you have to hit it from one side, but the fly does help out a little bit. And ultimately we are making it through. Just gotta watch out for those red poops, and the plague shot right there, or spore shot, it's doing a lot of work as well. Krampus once again, but I'm feeling confident enough in my base damage that it should be okay. That was going to be a spinning attack because he moved forward there just before he started the attack, but he died before he could do anything. So with that, I think I will just move on. I'm tempted by the meat cube actually, and I think I'll just get it, because it is nice to have that safety net. Is that range up? Shot speed up. Effectively the same. Plus we get a card, which is the 2 of Hearts. Ah, that's not bad actually either. Yeah. Let's see if there's a trapdoor here. No. 2 of Hearts, like that's still a couple of extra hits for the Ultra Greed fight as well, so it is a lot more safety with the amount of red heart containers we have. Plus there's still a decent chance that we're going to get more red heart containers as we move on as well. Tammy's Head is good in this mode as well. If you get Brimstone or something like that, it combines so well with it. And this is the aforementioned red heart up, so pretty good. There once again is a decent trinket there with a speed up. Would have to use a bomb to get it though. I kind of want to use my bomb to blow up these shopkeepers right here instead. Plus I'd have to hold the bag as well to even be able to use it, because I do want to keep this range up as well. But let's just do this. We did get the 5 coins, so that's lucky. Let's just re-roll these things to once again try to get a... well, that's a range up, so that's not bad. Actually, I'll just buy things when... like before I go to the next floor, I think, because then I might actually get the black hearts as well and make the most use out of the things I'm actually buying, so that might not be a terrible idea. 2 waves which are identical, which, I mean, it's fair enough, I suppose, makes it a little easier. Was a little worried there was going to be eyes at the top right there, but fortunately there weren't. That might just be a harder mode wave or something like that, because I do assume that the harder greed mode is going to have harder waves as well, but I'm not 100% sure what the differences even are between the modes, if I'm honest. But we'll hopefully never find out and have a very easy time, all things considered, is my ultimate hope for anything greed mode related. But so far, very lucky, given what we've gotten so far today with greed mode. Very, very good. Definitely the kind of build that you want to have for a mode like this. Obviously, the Book of Belial isn't going to be as good for the Ultra Greed fight compared to the rest of the mode, but it's still a pretty significant damage up, you know? I think I will just leave it like this for now. I think my damage is fine, so if I can just not get hit by these tears, then we should be okay. Yeah, or just Brimstone me, I guess. I mean, I was right in front of him. That's fair enough, but he spawned a lot of enemies there. Very unfortunate, but not impossible to deal with. We can just get a couple spore shots on him there. That's going to deal decent damage. Every time he jumps, the spores do leave him a bit, which isn't great. but the brimstone takes care of the red flies, so at this point it becomes more of a matter of patience. But we have made it through today. One more wave, 2 Monstro 2s. Naturally, of course. Anyway, it's more of the same. Just a bunch of shooting. Both of them are just jumping all over the place, so good. Not really focusing one or the other right now, but that's ultimately somewhat inconsequential as well. Just need to watch out for the brimstone and the tears coming out of their little flies as well. Because I feel like I've gotten hit by quite an amount of tears right there. And it's not really making life a bit easier right here. But there we go. Another wave conquered. Spirit of the Night doesn't really do anything for me in this mode. Getting 5 bombs for free, that's pretty great though. So I can appreciate that. Let's get that range up because that's pretty good. BFF is not terrible, but not really into it right now. None of this is anything I really want either, except for maybe the health, I guess. But we still got a couple of floors left to go before we really have to worry about health. Raw liver is tempting again, because the 2 of hearts is actually the 2 of hearts is actually just gonna give me so much. Pinky's pretty good, but we're not gonna get a soul heart out of it. We are gonna get tears up out of it though, so that is still not terrible. Eraser isn't really going to do anything, unfortunately. Plus, we'd have to get rid of Book of Belial. Now let's do this one more time. Yeah. Let's just get that immediately. That gives us jumper cables, which I think you unlock for having 2 battery items, which is what we have right now. And the other unlock we got might have been for just grabbing X amount of battery items in general, but I'm pretty sure this one is for just having at least 2 of the various battery items in the game. So it's kind of nice that we managed to unlock that in greed mode right here. That is more tear rate. That is another fly. We are getting close to getting the Lord of the Flies transformation there. That is another tears and range up as well, so I will just take that. Actually, just range up, the tears up effect didn't apply because we're already capped. I think I should just stop buying stuff. My build is fine. So I think I will just go like this instead. That enemy spawned in a flame, so fair enough. That is a very good room layout for that particular situation. Yeah, the flame is just killing stuff. That's unfortunately it got destroyed by the exploding enemy there, but that's a weird placement for a flame if the wave has enemies in it. But yeah, alright. I feel like 3 uses of the thing is a pretty great balance to make sure I actually have a couple charges when I start the next floor. So I think I'll just stick to that. Watch out for the mini brimstone, but overall, nothing too scary. And the plague shot ended up dealing a whole bunch of damage to the other mask there somehow. I'm not sure if the plague, or the spore shot rather, was on the mask and that it ended up poisoning the other part of it, because it looked like that happened, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the hearts were all just really close to each other and that's why they got poisoned. That actually seems like it's more likely, thinking about it. So disregard everything I said beforehand. And instead, just watch me shoot these horsemen. And even if we take some damage here, it doesn't really matter too much because we can just get our health back from that soul heart in the bottom left. And yeah, it would have probably been smarter to stop spending as much money earlier on because our build was generally quite fine, but I do like to play it safe against Ultra Greed. I'm not great at fighting Ultra Greed, I feel. So any kind of range up or something like that, it just makes me feel so much better about the run itself. And mostly this game is about feeling confident in your own abilities. I'm kind of tempted, actually. It doesn't really hurt. So let's just take both, actually. I feel like it's not a terrible idea. There is a soul, still 2 soul hearts here, so there's actually no reason not to go into my curse room. Oh, we can get the devil deal again. What fun. I mean, taking those devil deals does mean that the 2 of hearts becomes a little bit less good, but ultimately, I think that's okay. I will, I think, bomb my reroll machine, actually. Just in case we can get something good out of it. is going to instantly reroll it twice and then break, but yeah, not really worthwhile. But it was worth a shot. It's something I never really do, so why not change our mind on that every now and then? Make sure that nothing has changed since the last time. Am I very red right now? I feel like my character was excessively red just then. Yeah, very red. Oh, because of the spooky thing, probably. Yeah, fair enough. Mama Mega does stay fun, but probably not this time around. Let's press this button. In greed mode, buttons never seem to be good. And yeah, no exception there. 4 regular size monsters. Great. That one's on me. That was very avoidable. But instead, I had to know. I feel like there has to be at least one good button in greed mode, and I will try and find it, but genuinely it has been a terrible experience when it comes to buttons in this mode. And I also kind of forgot to look around there, so took some damage I didn't need to take. We'll just re-roll this a little bit. Yeah, there's a heart, so that's really the main thing I wanted. Could get the charge, baby, I suppose. Yeah, why not? Let's take that and go. Use it twice, take our damage up to 9. Once again, there's a flame in this room, so it ended up dealing a bunch of damage to one of the enemies. Very good. It's gonna spawn enemies pretty quickly here. Also, the multi-dimensional spore shot tiers are a sight to behold as well, so I'm enjoying that. There's a couple enemies still at the bottom of this room, I think, but I'm not too bothered. Make sure that we have some time between waves as well, so that's kind of nice. Need to not get hit by any of these enemies as well, because it's gonna make us lose coins, unfortunately, but we can only play it so optimized before I lose interest. It's really the main thing there. I still have 3 bombs remaining, so I'm hoping that there's going to be a couple shopkeepers that we can blow up on the next floor as well. It's really the main reason, or just shopkeepers during this fight is also an acceptable alternative. Because that is seemingly what is happening right there. There's a lot of shopkeepers there, actually. Tiny battery just spawned, so I could actually just use this without any real repercussions as well. Because we're just going to be able to recharge the item anyway. Didn't expect him to brimstone that quickly. It's a rare sight to behold that he doesn't just jump forever, but it does happen from time to time. I would actually have assumed that that boss would have died by now, but if we wait long enough, then at least Monster 2 is probably just going to kill whoever spawns next, so that's going to work out. Yeah, but let's just get rid of that because he's actually dealing more damage to me than I would like. And it's 2 more of these, which is slowly but surely turning into not quite my favorite boss in the world, but at least he ended up brimstoning his own friends there, so it didn't really matter too much. And 1 more wave with a death card effect. Yeah, I know why that happened, I just choose not to explain it. And instead, we'll just go into my devil deal, spend a heart to get 25 coins. Seems pretty worthwhile. Blow up a couple shopkeepers here. I think I ran out of the room quick enough that this one exploded, but not this one, and I didn't actually know that was possible. Although there is a block here, so maybe they just got missed. That makes more sense. The joke is that I said this makes more sense, but you could also interpret this as the word sense, because we're in greed mode. It's hilarious. Please laugh at my good joke. There is another R key. We could actually we could actually get the R key. Oh no. Oh god. I think this is just gonna give me the cheapest thing. Nope, just give me growth hormones. Alright. Oh god. Cause then, yeah, that's actually really good, isn't it? Because then I can just put coins in my machine and then just restart the run. That's so good. It's not as many coins, obviously, but I get a second run, which should go a lot quicker because my build's amazing. It's a shame that we have to get rid of the Book of Belial, but I did not anticipate this. Oh, God. That's hilarious. Third R key we've even seen. The second one we can actually take, and it's once again just getting into weird situations. At least this time around, I cannot actually forget to do stuff, so that's also kind of a nice feeling. I just have to just play the game a bit more. But there's no weird things that I have to remember. It's just a matter of shooting the enemies a bunch. And yeah, if I can just do this fight by being far away from everyone, I would be more than okay with that. If there's a couple of bombs that could fall out of the sky to destroy those shopkeepers, that would be ideal, because I do not have the bombs for it right now. But I will just focus entirely on Ultra Greed and not on any of the things he's spawning. Which might not be a great idea, but if I am close to death, I can just use my active item and leave. So that is pretty great. The Spore Shot is still doing a decent amount of work there as well. And this build is a little bit easier to use than the Lilith build, surprisingly enough, against Ultra Greed in particular, because I can just shoot up like this. My range is quite frankly absurd. It is more or less covering the entire room, and that does make life a little bit easier. I would still like to see those bombs being spawned, please. I think I'm missing him, though. Yeah, fair enough. I assume that I will be able to just start off with a effectively not 0% jam chance when I restart my run, but at least the same amount as that I started the run with originally. Or not God, what am I even talking about? that my jam chance will just stay the same, and that I can just get a bunch more keys or coins instead. It's been a long run, y'all. It's not even been that long. It's been like 15 minutes. But it's been one of those days. It's not even been one of those days. I don't know. I'm just fighting Ultra Greed not now. Don't listen to me anymore. Just focus on this intense fight. It is taking a while. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more damage the second run through, but ultimately I do only need to get 99 coins, I suppose. And that, I mean, that should be easy enough with all of the floors that we have. And it's not like this build is unable to beat Ultra Greed either. It's just that it's taking a little bit longer than I would like. Preferably, I would have already been done with the fight is really the main thing. But I guess my damage is only... It's arguably slightly above base damage if you don't count the massive tier rate increase and stuff like that. Also, the scary item is just making these enemies not even come close to me, so that is pretty safe. It doesn't even matter if anything is spawning, because they cannot get close to me physically. That's why the coins are turning red as well. I wasn't making that connection either, but that makes more sense. Again, great pun, by the way. Thank you. I made it myself. There we go. There we go. That is the end of the fight. 43 coins to put into our donation machine. We get the Evil Eye unlock, which isn't too bad. But if this thing jams, then I do hope it is unjammed when I use the R key. But I doubt it's going to jam that quickly. Yeah, there you go. So let's do that. Let's sit comfortably. Didn't expect to do this once again, but there we go. Might as well take this, even though you could arguably call it a bit of a waste to do it immediately. If we could get another 50% off, that would make life a lot easier as well. But I'm gonna say that's a bit unlikely to get that twice. But we'll see. I wouldn't mind getting something like the Book of Belial again either. There's a couple things which I wouldn't mind getting on this second run through, but for the most part, it's just going to be a matter of shooting enemies real good. The fact that I actually have to shoot these enemies multiple times is surprising me a bit more than I thought it would. Because the build is good enough to fight Ultra Greed. It's just that the damage, the specific damage per tier, is just not that impressive. So I do hope we can get something for that. Any kind of damage ups that we can get during this is going to be ideal. But if not, it'll just take a little bit longer and we'll be okay as well. So hopefully we can do exactly that. I can once again leave the room if I need to, so that's kind of nice. The bosses are also scared of me, so that is also feeling pretty safe. And little gurglings are not the scariest boss to fight when you have an endgame build. So that is good. I will just buy a key in a second, and if there's nothing in there, I think I'll just go to the next floor, because I feel like that's a good idea. I think I want neither of these, so we might get an angel room on the next floor as well, which could be nice. Let's just buy this. Could just blow up this as well for all of those things, because that's a couple It's an extra red heart. We still have that 2 of hearts as well, because I never actually used it. And I'm curious. I think this will be pretty good. Because it charges really quickly as well. It said tears down, but my tears didn't go down. I don't know how much the tears are meant to go down, or if it's a specific stat up or stat down, but ultimately I feel like this is the kind of thing I need. Spun and bombs, pretty good. The fact that we got, not spun, but we got a syringe that gave us a damage up, so all in all, not too terrible. Nothing in that shop that I really want to buy, so I will probably just avoid it. It does mean I have to tap a little bit more, but I do think the up to 400% damage claim is a pretty important one that cannot be as easily overlooked. Because that was really the main thing. I wanted to have tear damage, and that's what I got. Enemies are now dying in one shot, so I would argue that it was the correct choice. But I'd like to maybe just a little bit more. I still have, if I can get some item that allows me to carry more money, which I think I have to unlock first, unfortunately. That would be really nice, but yeah, I think I need to have actually put 990 coins in my donation machine before I can even unlock that item, and that's the greed mode donation machine as well. So that's going to be unlikely, but if we could get a 2 of diamonds, I guess that's like the specific thing that I would like to get right now. Curious if you give this one 12 coins, it'll leave as well, but I'm not going to try it because coins are genuinely the only thing I want right now. Angel room with this. It is a 20% damage up and another red heart container. I'm a little bit concerned about those orbiting tears, if it is going to take over one of the big damage tears that I'm shooting, but it'll probably be okay. Let's move on. Now that we have chocolate milk, I do feel like the build is good enough to actually fight Ultra Greed rather than simply proving itself to be good enough to fight Ultra Greed, because previously it was just like clearly it won, but it didn't feel great, you know? It could have felt better. I think this is spun as well, isn't it? Yeah. But that's another damage up and speed up for that stuff as well. That's going to be a bunch more tears shooting. I am moving at a rather rapid pace. But if we could just get another 50% off, does everything become free at that point? Like, that used to be the case, but it has changed a bit with how things work. Although the restock is different in greed mode, I suppose, than it is in the regular run. Like, if you just keep buying stuff, the price doesn't actually change. So possibly items could still be free if you get 2 50% offs. 2 Steam sales, I guess. But yeah, it's just very unlikely. The fact that I got Steam sale in greed mode is already just absurd, but to get 2 of them might be asking for a little bit much. We actually got perfection, which is fair enough, I suppose, when using the R key. It shouldn't be as big of a shock this time around, but I also didn't really realize you could even get that in greed mode either. That's for the Seraphim. This is throwable. Don't really need more soul hearts, and I don't mind holy water. Don't really need the Seraphim transformation either. So let's just take these bombs and leave. Let's try another greed mode button. Yep, another treasure in our ongoing series of what not to do. And only rerolled once, so I guess it was just going to explode anyway, right? That's probably how that would have worked. This allows us to carry multiple things. And we'll just take that in case. Yeah, speed up, that's what I needed. I will just take that in case I end up fighting a 2 of diamonds or something, because then I can still have the 2 of hearts as well. That'd be lovely. Really, I just need a shop that sells cards. Preferably for a very, very low price, and then just buy a bunch of them. Or maybe just the card deck or whatever it's called. That would not be terrible either. Any way to just get a bunch of money would be nice. Like blowing up these 2 shopkeepers with coins in their eyes. That's how you get a lot of money. Yeah, I might just buy a bunch of cards here and see if that works out. I don't love this for this mode especially. Magician, High Priestess. I think I'll buy exactly 5 cards and then see how much money I get from this floor in general. I say 5 cards, but I've clearly bought more now. I'm not really getting red cards, unfortunately, so yeah, let's just... I guess I could use Judgment. I'll just get a Demon Judge. I don't really feel like doing that. Let's just do the Magician. We do get a range up out of that as well, which isn't too terrible. It means I don't have to aim, which is kind of nice. Kind of tempted to actually use that for the Ultra Greed fight over the Two of Hearts, because I do feel like our damage is fine at this point, and just being able to always hit seems good. So that would be preferable. But we'll see what choices I end up making, I suppose. Another monster or two, this time a little bit quicker. Yeah, this build seems to be a little bit better than what it once was, in terms of how much damage I'm currently dealing. Acceptable result. Acceptable result. Let's just fight Carrying. Carrying Queen seems to be dying a little bit quicker as well. Yeah, all in all, this is a more preferable build, I would say. Another Angel Room. This is part of the Seraphim transformation. This is part of Conjoined, which is better probably than any of these then. Yeah. Don't really need Flight. And we got that. Which... Is that for getting a bunch of Angel Room items? I actually don't fully remember what that's for. I recall reading about it and thinking, oh, that's kind of tricky to unlock. I need to make a note of this, and you know how that ends. Never made a note out of it, completely forgot about it afterwards. But that's not a bad unlock to get. That is the nice thing about just getting the runs with many items inside them as well, because you don't have to worry about stuff so much, because things will just end up unlocking themselves. You'll get all the item combinations you need to unlock the things, because you are getting more or less everything. That's possibly not a great idea. This, on the other hand. Triple shot, pretty fun. It is pretty fun, isn't it? Yeah, I kind of have to go for that. Kind of tempted to just go for Conjoined. At this point, I'm just having fun, you know? Chaos, oh. No, maybe though, you know? There's Mom's box again, which does make my trinket better. None of those I want. Intruder is kind of fun, but not exactly what I'm looking for either. That's extra damage. Little bit more. Just a little bit more interesting of an item, maybe. Because this build seems fine when you first look at it, but actually it's not strong enough yet, you see. Sprinkler is pretty fun, actually. Two of Spades. Let's just take Sprinkler and call it a day. I think that'll just more or less play this run by itself as well, which is pretty fun. Let's just put that in the middle of the room. It's gonna shoot a couple tears. Shooting slower than I would have hoped, if I'm being real right there. Thought it would shoot more tears than it is. But at least I can overcharge it and just put a bunch of them in the Ultra Greed fight, and then they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. What am I? Oh. But I get now I'd say that the build is strong enough to fight Ultra Greed reasonably, because previously it took a bit of work. It took a bit of work to fight Ultra Greed with the build we had, and I think we have just removed it, specifically with the items we just bought and no other reason. I am curious about the shop on the next floor though, and it's likely that I'm just gonna waste a little bit more money, but I would have liked to get the two of diamonds though. That would have given us a lot of coins at least. Yeah, that's more or less what happens when you take Chaos. It makes your devil deals weird, but not bad. And we get a health up there, so that's good. Pretty Fly. I feel like Pretty Fly should be part of the Lord of the Flies transformation. Wouldn't be too weird. $3 bill is fun, but maybe not this time. Ipecac, maybe not this time either. Especially with with this right here. No, that's definitely gonna kill me. You know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this floor and go to the next one instead. Yeah, I can see myself just shooting myself in the back with Ipecac over and over. It would be pretty funny, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for right now. Pill placebo. I mean, there are good pills in my pill pool, but I don't feel like it. Come on. Just put an item on sale once. You know you want to. There is Dr. Fetus as well. Just gonna put a couple more coins in here. Yeah, okay. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's try to see if we can get our coins to 99 before we spend any more money. It is fun to just spend a lot of money in this mode when you have a build like this, but I mean, at some point I do have to think about the amount of coins that I can put into the donation machine. I'm barely even charging the tiers as well, but it's still just insta-killing everything. This is creating a rain of tiers and I love it. It's kind of nice to have fun with this game from time to time, you know? Like, I'm always pretty much having a good time, but builds like this, just every now and then, it is just the little sprinkles on top, I suppose, when playing this game. This is something wacky. I can appreciate those moments. I don't think we're gonna get quite to 99 on this floor. There weren't really any shopkeepers here, but perhaps we can get to 99 on the next floor in that first boss room as well. Let's just fully charge. I think the fully charged tiers do seem to be a little bit better as well. This is just a damage up, I think. Because it's going to give us back our red heart. This is just 5 free bombs. I guess that's also worth taking. It's not 5 free bombs. I kind of thought that would give you bombs, but I guess it doesn't. Huh. That's surprising. It seems like the kind of item that would. I mean, we still got 2 free bombs, but still, I'm just a little bit disappointed by it. I mean, it's very good, but I don't need it, you know? In any other situation, I probably would have taken it, but I really only need the money right now. I don't need shenanigans, but Sacred Heart for 7 coins. To say no to that is a bit of a travesty. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I had a good time with this build at least, so you know what? I'm not mad. Gonna put a couple sprinklers down there in the middle of the room. And yeah, the damage is reasonable. It's not insta-killing Super Ultra Greed rather, so I'd argue that this is just a regular build. Should have maybe placed the sprinklers a little bit in different locations instead of what I did there, but well. If you could just get frozen by my holy water though, that would be ideal. I got another sprinkler there, because I guess the battery baby felt like it. It's pretty nice. If you could just blow up the shopkeepers though. Just give me like 5 more coins. And not actually hit me with any attacks. That would be ideal. Also, like, soon, because you are dying. You are just losing this fight. Especially if you just run in the middle of those sprinklers. Look at those tears! They were getting massive. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. No worries here. Please stop shooting tears at me. Just use your bomb attack once. That's all I'm asking. I forgot about my magician card as well. I just realized. I need to actually stop shooting him at this point. He's not going to blow up his shopkeepers at this rate. It's ridiculous. Please. There you go. Most of the coins ended up just exploding, but I mean, we got 5 coins out of it, so it worked out. It got exactly the situation that I wanted. Oh my god. What an absolute mess. Let's try and put as many coins in here as possible. I thought we did reach 1% with this character already, but I guess not. It's a lot of coins. Even with 1%, there's a decent chance it's gonna jam, and it is. Very sad about that. Let's just put 1 more sprinkler down. 45 coins remaining with 2% chance. That's so sad. But we got a reasonable amount of coins in there. We're getting pretty close to that 500 mark, and at that point, we can actually do the more difficult modes, so that's pretty exciting. Not sure if we can see our amount of greed coins donated anywhere. I don't think we can actually, so fair enough. But with that, that was another regular greed mode run with Lilith and Cain. I hope you all enjoyed it. Next time, probably just going to be a regular runner again, and I hoped to see you all there. Bye bye.